Hey there, this is Deborah Richmond, and I want to talk to you a minute about a technique that I've used. Some of the pieces in this quilt are done using this particular technique. Now what it is, it's basically some spontaneous sewing of quilt scraps together that we then use as the fabric to cut out some of the pieces. So let me just show you here with the quilt. You can see it really well here in this particular block. This was just a square of fabric, intended to be just a square of one piece of fabric. But instead, what I did was I created a piece of fabric using spontaneous sewing and then cut it out. I call this my controlled chaos. I really like that look. So let me just show you how that's done. Really, really simple and really fun. You simply go into your scraps and you start sewing some pieces together. And you can sew any edges you like until you start building a piece of fabric that you're going to cut your block from. And so here's a piece that I have ready for my next block to cut. Now then, once you have that together, you then will cut your square out of it. So you can see here's a particular block that is just two different pieces together. Now when I do this, I don't pay too much attention to color, because I know this is a scrap quilt and I want to do a lot of different colors. I do try to pay a little attention to value, so that a medium print and color will keep several of those together, so you don't have too much contrast, because you want it to read really as one block. What happens is with the spontaneous quilting, with this controlled chaos, is that what I get that I really like is I get a nice quilt, but every once in a while you'll see some of these particular blocks. It makes your eye really move around a little bit more when you're looking at the quilt. And you know, as we know, that's half the fun, is when you show your quilt to somebody, particularly a quilter. They look to see first how it's put together. Then their eye is going to see some of these blocks too. It makes it look like it's very complicated, particularly if you're giving it to someone who's not a quilter. It'll make it look like it's very complicated pieces, such as this square, but really it's not complicated at all. It's kind of just mad sewing. This is one of my favorite ways to use up a lot of scraps. It's a really good scrap buster, and you can use this in any pattern, in any quilt you're using. So that is just a technique for using up some of your scraps in kind of a controlled chaos kind of way, and thank you for joining me.
And be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can do so here by clicking the subscribe button. That way you'll find out about new videos as they become available.